Hello. In this tutorial, we are going to continue with the project that we started earlier. If you watched the previous tutorial, you are going to see that we wrote this very simple script, which we can use to ping a Google DNS server, whose IP address is 8888. So as you can see, if it is reachable, it sends us this message. If it is not reachable, it will send us, tell us that it is unreachable. So this is a very basic script that you could use in a couple of environments, like when you are troubleshooting network-related issue, for instance, in order to find out if, like the latency and other things, this is the kind of script that you would want to use. But what we want to do now is, instead of issuing this command manually, we should be able to write a cron job so that it would run this script at our own specified time by itself and probably send us a message depending on the output or the outcome of the script running. So now what we can do, let me open this. I'm going to use Vim. You can use whatever editor that you've got. My first of all, please ask you to subscribe to my channel, to like, and to share. Thank you. So this is the script that does this job for us. What we are going to do is we are going to make a very minor change here. And the change we are going to do is to make this very script executable by writing the Shebang. So which is user bin env, then Python 3, which is the version I'm using. That should be Python 3. So that's the only change that we need to make here. I'm going to go on and save this. Now that I saved it, let me we are going to make it executable. Let me show you what we are going to do. For instance, let us try to run that script. It is a ping IP .py. As you can see, permission is denied. Let me show you why. If you probably can guess why it says that permission is denied. Otherwise, I'm going to show you why. As you can see here, this user here is not allowed. There is no execute right here. So this user doesn't have the right to run this very script. Now we are going to change that. To do it, you use the chmod command. Then the name of the file, ping IP .py. Oh, there should be now let us check it again. Now as you can see the difference, this very user now has the execute right. So basically you can compare this to the output that we got earlier. So this person now has more a right to execute this code. And let us try that again. Let me use the back arrow and run this again. As you can see, it is now reachable. We are now able to run this very script. So the next thing that we need to do is to write our cron job. Let me clear the screen. To run our cron job, we start by issuing the command cron tab -e. In this file, we are going to write our cron job. So I'm going to go all the way down. What I intend to do here is to run this script to write this script in such a way that it runs every 2 minutes. In an ideal world, maybe you want it to run once every day, once every 1 hour, but I chose 2 minutes so that we will be able to test it and see the output right away. To be run every 2 minutes, what we need to do is we are going to write 2 minutes So this indicates that it should run every 2 minutes. Later on, we are going to discuss these other positions here to understand more what they do. But let us first of all get this done. The next thing that we need to do now is to call our the Python that we used. So first of all, let us use the bin env, then Python 3, then let us call the file where we have our script that we wrote earlier. So I have mine in so you can find out where you have yours and call it. So in my own case, under home username, that's where I have the ping ip.py. We are going to create a file where the output of this very command is going to be saved. To do that, we can use two greater signs. I'm going to tell you why we chose that. Now, I'm going to create my file, username, then let me call it pingip.log. And then, in case there will be any error message, we want it to be saved in the same file. Now let us discuss this more. Here we are calling the file. If you remember, this is the file where we wrote our script. And this is the new file that is going to be created. It doesn't exist yet, but the system is going to create it for us. Also, don't forget this one is .log and this one is .py. Then this means that if there will be any error message, this error message would also be saved in this very log file. Another important thing to note here is this greater than signs. We could have only one of those, like this, but the meaning will change, or what it's going to do is going to be different. When we have only one of these, it means that whenever this script runs, every 2 minutes, it's going to save it in this file, the output. When it runs the next 2 minutes, it's going to delete what had been saved here and add the new output. So basically, only one output will be there whenever it runs. But when we have two of those, as we did earlier, it means that whenever this script runs, it's going to save the output here. When it runs again after the next 2 minutes, it's going to append the output to what we had here. So it keeps incrementing, which is probably the right thing, so that we will be able to see the history of the output. Now, let us go on and save this file. Now that we save this file, let us go on and run our script to see if we are going to get any output. To do that, we use the cat command. That's where my file got saved. Ping ip.log. It says it does not exist. Let's see why. Let's give it some time. If you remember, this file has not been created yet. So it's going to be created when this very script runs. So we are going to run this again after 2 minutes and see if we got any output. Otherwise, we are going to investigate why it won't run. Now, let us run this again to see if our file has been created. Yes. Now, as you can see, it has already run this very command 2 times. So what happens is that this runs by itself every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes it runs, so we don't need to do it manually. Also, the reason we got this error in the very first time was because the script had not run, so which means that the file had not been created. But when the script ran, the file got created, and then we got our outputs. So if we wait after 2 minutes again and check this, we are going to find that it ran again. So another important thing to show you is this. Let us run it once again. Now it has executed 3 times. So this is the power of automation. It does it by itself without our intervention. There is something that we could do to improve this script. As you can see, we do not know when the script ran. It will be very interesting to see at what time it ran, so it kind of gives us more context during our troubleshooting. So to do that, we are going to open our file, pingip.py. In order to display the time when the script ran, we are going to do a couple of things here. The first would be to import our time module, Python time module, which is called a datetime. From datetime, import datetime. And we are going to create a variable where we are going to extract the time. Let me paste this here. What we are doing here, we created this variable. We are going to extract the date. Here, what we have here is year, month, date, hour, minute, and second. So this is the format of the date and time that we want to display. The final thing we need to do is to print the timestamp. We can either have it on the same line. Let's do something like this. Let's call our variable here called timestamp. Let us also call our variable here timestamp. So whether it's successful or not, we want to print the timestamp as well. We can go on and save this. Now let us call our script again, or rather, let us view our log again. pingip.log. Now that we made our changes, I removed the old log. We are going to run or rather view the log again to see what output we are going to get. So to do that, we can go back to the file, pingip.log. The file doesn't exist yet because it needs to be created again. Let's see. So it's not recognized because our script hasn't run. It's going to run again after 2 minutes. Now let us run it once again. Yes. Now it's showing us also the time when the job ran, and then it's telling us that the server is reachable. Let us run it again. After another 2 minutes, it's not yet 2 minutes. Yes, finally, it has run 2 times, showing us the time as well. So as you can see, the difference is 2 minutes. So this is how you can easily automate this task so that you don't have to do it manually at work or whatever you do or whatever environment you want to use it in. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. May I ask you to please subscribe to my channel to like, and to share, and watch the next video in order to see what else we are going to automate. Thank you.